Hello, everyone. This is Felicia Bender, the Practical Numerologist. We're coming at you end of year, right? It is December's forecast. So I am just going to say up front that this is based on your personal year number in numerology. It's not based on your life path number. So if you're new to numerology, or if you're just not sure what your personal year might be, I ask you to please take a quick moment, go over to FeliciaBender.com, click on monthly forecast. There is a calculator there that will calculate your personal year number for you, and then you can make sure that you are listening to the correct forecast. There's also a very quick, very easy manual calculation below in the description box if you'd like to just take a look at that, do it manually. So otherwise, we are moving into December, and this is your forecast for the month of December 2023. If you're in a 7 personal year, December is a 1 personal month for you. So it's a launching time, a more high energy time, something that is going to be a welcome. You're going to fling the doors open and say, welcome to this dynamic energy after your very, hibernatory, is that a good word? Year. And so before we get into that, though, let's really step back a second. Let's reflect, right? Let's do kind of that year-end reflection and take some time to acknowledge how everything that you have experienced in your 7 personal year has revealed a new level of connection with yourself in important and yet sometimes quite indefinable ways. It's often this moment where you begin to really digest all of the growth, all of the spiritual growth that has taken place all year long. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that shows up for you. Are you ready to crawl out of hibernation and head into a very different energy in a month? So in 2024, we'll get to that in a second. But I'm going to ask you right now to wipe that metaphoric sleep out of your eyes, get ready to shift into drive and to start pressing on the accelerator, because this is going to be much different elements coming at you as you move into the new year. And yet this month in December allows you to get used to those more powerful energies coming your way in January. And I always say to those who are experiencing their 7 personal year that they'll wish they had bottled some of that downtime rather than complaining about it, right? In our 7 year, we're always like, oh my gosh, why can't things move go somewhere? It's like, okay, maybe it's like you should think about it as, I don't know, a spa day, like extended, and bottle some of that, because you're going to want it and need it as you head into that 8. The next 3 years are pretty darn demanding, actually, which doesn't mean the 7 personal year isn't demanding. It is, just in a very different way. Okay. So in December, you will need to tap into your sense of innovation and independence and individuality. That 1 is new starts, new beginnings. It's about you taking the lead in your life. So that's going to be that's what you're going to be asked to do, called upon to do. December is an initiating month guided by that number 1. And the energy here is all about new beginnings and initiating changes, right? You've got this for 4 weeks. So the interesting thing is that it's the holidays. So if you're talking business, it depends on what part of the world you're operating in. And how much business gets done during a holiday, a universal global holiday month. And yet I would say for you in this 7, it is going to be about taking charge of yourself in a different way. than you did when you entered in to this 7 personal year at the beginning of 2023. So also, though, on the flip side, your self-confidence could be under fire right now. So I would get a grip on those tried and true skills that you know and love when you start feeling a little bit battered, right? So that when you're feeling that wave maybe of self-doubt, that you can key into those things that you do well and keep those feelings maybe of fear or lack of self-confidence modulated, kind of in control, because the one is always going to push you to, I don't know, to risk, to stand up for yourself. And when we feel that that sense of vulnerability, it helps to have something to hold on to that you feel, again, is a tried and true skill or characteristic or something about yourself that you can hold on to. All right. The month of December is here to give you a preview of coming attractions. So put on that superpower cape, tie it in a double knot, right? And get ready, because it's coming. This month allows you to get your feet wet and acclimate yourself to those powerful energies that are coming your way beginning in January. So this month, where you lead, they will follow. So I ask you to lead wisely, lead well. You will get the farthest this month when you trust your instincts and bring other people in to support you on whatever realm you might need support or bolstering. Carolyn Mace, I don't know if anyone knows her. I would think you do. Carolyn Mace is a wonderful medical intuitive and spiritual teacher, and she offers some really sage wisdom in her TEDx talk. You can look that up, I'm sure, on TED.com or even on YouTube. It's called Choices That Can Change Your Life. And while this information is fitting for all of us at any given time, I really feel it holds an even more profound resonance for you as you are digesting your rather powerful 7 personal year. And so I'm going to loosely paraphrase her here when she says this: if we look at life, there is something that all great spiritual traditions have in common. One of the great learnings is that life will never be what we call fair. It will never be that. What if there is no absolute reason why things, good or bad, happen to you? The message to take away is that it's not about forgetting. It's about looking at what's happened to us and saying, this will never defeat me. But you must turn this into your source of wisdom, not your source of woe. So I can only imagine that this notion of turning difficult experiences into your greatest source of wisdom might resonate rather deeply right now, because wisdom is it's a key feature. It is a cornerstone of the teaching and of the energy of the 7. And the 7 is what you've been swimming around in all year long in your 7 personal year. And so as you move into this final month of the year, this is the month to begin something you would love to cultivate in the coming year. Okay, so maybe just throwing out a few examples. Maybe you're considering a new romantic relationship. I don't know, maybe you want to adopt a puppy. Do you need to jumpstart a new exercise program, a new health regime, anything like that? This is a great time to start something that you would like to see take root and thrive as you move into the new year, where you might have felt in somewhat of a holding pattern for a little while. Soon it's time to act rather than to retract, or act rather than to think about it some more, right? It will soon be time to make things happen rather than wait, contemplate, and dissect, which is what the 7 is asking you to do. And now that you've done it, you're being asked to move on to the action phase, okay? So another piece of advice that Carolyn Mace offers is that we benefit most when we choose to take risks. Don't wait, she says, don't wait for proof, because there will never be enough of that, nor will that kind of proof lead to anything new for us. So as you head into the empowering 8 personal year in 2024, it would be good to keep this notion at the forefront. It's calculated risk, and yet it's bringing something new into your world. And so as you leave your 7 personal year and enter into the 8, take some time to consider really what was the locus of this contemplative 7 year for you. What did you focus on? What were your overarching intentions? It's great to journal about this stuff. So did you find yourself pushing yourself to investigate some old painful experiences or issues? That is often where the 7 personal year takes us, so that we can heal on a very deep level. Did you experience some strange moments of spiritual revelation that you can't even explain or put into words, very personal experiences? Perhaps you ended up having things happen to you that were dramatic, painful, or difficult. And by having those experiences, you've been required to create an entirely different perspective about life and your place in it. Remember that December can feel somewhat heavy, or alternately, it can feel shockingly freeing, depending on where you are and how you're dealing with all of this at the moment. Because this month you get the dynamic energy of the 1 on top of the final throes of your 7 personal year. The beauty of it is that you can feel this renewed sense of place and purpose in a way you have not felt before. So this is the month to stand up, to be counted, and hopefully you'll feel a renewed sense of energy and forward movement as you bridge into December and experience December. So the upcoming year, 2024, is the time to step into that newfound sense of yourself. And this year has been all about revealing this new level of your authentic self, your authentic nature. And now it's time to bridge that new you into the outer world. So it started inward, and now you can present it outwardly. All right. Now you get to begin to use the new ideas and the new elements of yourself and make it all happen in the material world, right? All right. Here on terra firma, where you can now touch and measure the outcomes. So I would ask, what did you develop and explore this year? Did you feel frustrated, or did you open up and trust the unknown? Perhaps the year brought some unexpected issues to be grappled with in the way of a spouse or an intimate partner leaving you. Those things can happen all the time, but in the 7 personal year, they have a different resonance to them. Maybe there's been a health concern that demanded your attention, or maybe even undivided attention, or some other thing that felt as though it happened to you without your permission or without your invitation, right? Perhaps you're simply feeling this inexplicable sense of spiritual expansion that isn't solid or definable yet. And definitely, though, you know that it's a major tipping point for you in the way that you see yourself and you see the world, and you see yourself connected to your spirituality, however that shows up for you personally. So starting in January, it's the beginning of a new, vital, transformative time in life. The upcoming year brings all the tests and personal power you can imagine. It's going to really ask you to focus on your finances and take charge of your life. So get ready to step into the fray and to make things happen. That is your forecast for the end of the year. And what I also want to mention is that I am regrouping, reprioritizing, doing some things differently within my numerology business. And this is going to be the last forecast that I'm going to be doing on YouTube. I will not be doing these monthlies anymore. I might be doing some other segments, some other series, some other things on YouTube. I'm kind of in the planning stage of that. And yet I've just had to prioritize certain things. So I would say that if you still want to engage in your forecast, you can still go to FeliciaBender.com and you can read it there. It will still be there in writing. It just won't be on YouTube. So again, I hope that you have a wonderful end of your year. And thank you for watching here. And I hope that you'll come back and we'll get some other numerology-based videos going for you. All right. Have a wonderful wonderful holiday and a very, very, very happy new year.